Overthinking is a power if you know how to use it the right way. So let me first explain why overthinking is very powerful. As an overthinker myself, we are very good at finding mistakes. It can be mistakes from the work we do, mistake about our social situation, and all of that things, all of the events in our life, we are very good at finding mistake. But what does that mean in a more positive connotation? It means that we have an obsessive mind. As we all know, nothing is perfect in this world. The longer you see it, the more mistake you can find. There's a reason why a mistake finding mind is also an obsessive mind. So as a detail oriented person, you have to realize that details are the gap between good to perfect. But what happens if you use it the wrong way? As most overthinkers are out there, we are very used to being self-deprecating, sabotaging our own self, don't have self-belief. All of this like negative stuff. To give you an example, for work, for example, it is very common for overthinkers to never take action and to always think that they're not good enough, to always think that they should be a follower, to always think that they are and will never be good. And for relationship, it is applied in every single stage. The stage of when there's a girl that you like, you don't dare to approach her, you overthink, you think what you should say and all of that stuff. And even when you are together with a girl, you overthink about everything, single action that she does, and you are insecure and all of these very negative emotions that you will get from overthinking. But that should not be the case, because if this is how it is, then it is not a power, it's a debuff. But if you use it the right way, it can be a power. So what should you do to make it powerful? The first thing is an advice for all overthinkers out there, is that you want to do something. You go do something about yourself. It's because you want to look back to your past self and say this exact phrase, at least for once I tried. So go do something first. Think about things that you have an urge to do. It's like a deep calling for you if you were to go on a more spiritual approach, and just go do something. But if you have zero clue where to start, human core values are normally divided into three: health, relationships, and financial wealth. So you can pick one of these topics from the three and work on it, learn, go take actions, and just try to do something. Then once you have a good grasp of like the basics of one of these three core value or anything that you want to do, then by then you start to have like a belief about yourself. You start to understand that it is very possible. It is achievable. But what does this mindset is on a bigger picture? It is the whole idea of being hopeful and having self-belief. There's a whole point of like trying things even though you're not sure, and overthinking is very dangerous, because if you overthink at the wrong time, it will lead you to nothing. But once you have the right trajectory, which is the trajectory of like being hopeful and belief, then overthinking is an amplifier of your skill. Like what I mentioned earlier, you are able to find details about things that no one have ever thought before. To give you an example, I did a presentation a few months ago, and these are some of the comments from my friends. Even the professor told me that I did pretty well, but I was still able to think about numerous things that I could have done differently and approached differently and explained in a different way and all of that stuff. And it was because I obsessed about the topic. I was thinking about the whole thing, the whole presentation, even after I finished it, just to think about how I can improve and all of that stuff. So once you have developed, like, once you understand this trajectory, you will realize that you no longer self-deprecate yourself. You no longer look down on yourself. And when you find details, you will learn to improve upon it. You will learn to fix it. You will find ways to solve it. You will be hopeful about it. And that is how overthinking can become very powerful. It is when you have this overthinking status, but you don't approach it in a looking down method. You don't approach it in a self-deprecating method, but you approach it in a I am hopeful and I'm grateful that I can find these details that I can work on. And that is the beauty of the mind and reality. It amplifies one another. So if you were to do action first and you start to build belief, next time, having belief will encourage you to do action, and it will amplify one another to the point that you are very good at what you're doing. But still, the first step, you have to get the ball rolling. You have to translate this thought into reality. And it can be very dangerous if you do it the wrong way. So that's pretty much it from this video. This is how overthinking can be very powerful. But you have to use it the right way, and you have to direct it to the right trajectory, or else it will not be any good. In fact, it will be a debuff to yourself. It will stop you from achieving many good things in life. It will stop you from becoming good at your work. So that's it from this video. Peace.